What is up? Episode 34 of the Austin Stand-Up Comedy Podcast. We'll call this the Hakeem Olajuwon episode. I should have featured a Houston comic in this one. Shout out to T.O. Jesse. If there's no way he's listening to this. It's not my actual T.O., it's just his comedy name. Funny Houston comic. Check him out. He's on Instagram, I think. Yeah, what's the point of this? Why are you hearing this? Well, let me tell you why you're hearing this. If you happen to stumble upon this podcast, the whole point of this podcast is to talk about some Austin stand-up comedians, what I like about them, any first impressions, any funny jokes I remember from them, in hopes to inject some positivity while we all wait to get back out there. I'll say full force, right? Because it seems like we're kind of limping back out there. So yeah, I'm going to talk about a couple comedians today. First off, shout out to DJ. I'm sorry that I couldn't make the show this past, what was it, Saturday? Maybe, I think. Had some personal things going on, but not quite the time for me to hit the scene yet. I will get out there, but I might have said this on a past episode. I want to get these episodes done, wrapped up, and then I don't know what I'll do with this podcast after, but I'm going to be getting back out there soon. So I will see all of you very soon. But anyhow, this episode is going to be about a couple stand-up comedians. Austin stand-up comedians. One, Trevor Williams. One, Ozzy Moon. And one, Jimmy Smoltich. So let's get right into it, man. Trevor Williams. I remember the first time I saw Trevor Williams, I think was at Cap City. And I remember his cadence was very engaging. He takes long pauses in between his jokes. He kind of thinks about it. I think he chews gum, or at least he looks like he's chewing gum. The first joke I heard from him was when he talked about homeless people in Austin. I won't give too much away. The joke is around that. I don't even know if he still tells it. But my favorite joke of his, which I've heard him tell several times, is about a guy who is obsessed with balloons. I'll leave it at that. But that joke has so many... like sometimes you hear a joke from somebody and you think, man, that joke has a lot of potential. Like he could thread that joke through his entire set and I would be perfectly happy about it. There's something about that joke that I really like. And it's got legs, it's got some legs to it. So you can kind of, that's really cool. It's almost like a gelatin almost. Sorry if that was a weird noise with my hand, but it's my hand. I'm not jerking off, I swear. But it's a good joke, man. I've talked to him a couple of times. He's a super cool dude. Really appreciate his stage presence. And I hope you're doing well, Trevor. So that's all I got for Trevor. Let's talk about one Ozzy Moon. I don't know if he's the guy, but he's one of the guys that runs the Romo Room. Cool looking stage. I went there one of the nights that they did it. Is a good audience. They're very interactive. Not interactive, but what's the word I'm looking for? Let me jerk off for a second. It was a very, what's the word I'm looking for? The crowd is paying attention. They were engaged. That's the word I'm looking for. So that was cool. They seem like they run it as a pretty professional set too. As far as I could tell from the way they did the production, and I see people's pictures from the Romo Room and they always look good. So I think he works with Turn 2, I believe, as well. I met him a couple times. Always been nice to me. My favorite joke of Ozzy's is his joke about golf. He's got some doozies, though, so if you see him, just be prepared. But yeah, the golf joke is my favorite. He knows what I'm talking about, so Shout out to you, Ozzy. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk a little bit about Mr. Smoltich. Jimmy, to me, has the essence, a very comedian essence. But not just a comedian essence, but like a comedian from like the 90s. He has a really, like, his voice, he sounds like he's from California. I don't know where you're from, Jimmy, but you sound like you're from California, and I like that. If I had to draw a comedian as a cartoon character, I would use Jimmy because he'd be the easiest person to translate into a cartoon character. He was there the one night at, we've talked a couple times, but he was there at Lil Woodrow's when Clara was hosting and got the pizza for everybody. And I told the story about Espy being there. I think Robbie Dean was there, or maybe it was just a mirror. Anyhow, he was there. I remember him being really friendly and talking about some stand-up comedy stuff, very Austin stand-up centric stuff. So it seems like a good dude. But I think that's it. It's going to be another short episode, guys. I got a few more episodes left. If you're a listener and I haven't talked about you, shoot me a message. Maybe I've seen you. I'm not sure. There's a lot of comedians that I've talked about so far. Roughly 3 per episode, and I'm 34 episodes deep. So if you just do simple math, that's at least 900 comedians that I've talked about. So if I haven't talked about you, there's a good chance of going to talk about you. If I have talked about you, the YouTube channel's searchable. Just pop in, search your name, and then maybe I've said some sweet things about you. Otherwise, keep working on your jokes. All right, seems like people are getting back out there. I like it. Stay safe, stay healthy. Stand-up comedy is coming back, so be prepared.